Is the game that bad you need add-ons? Oh, is it? Okay, no, I think this is a genuine question. No, that's not how it works. The game isn't bad because people choose to play with add-ons, you know? There's add-ons in there's add-ons in Skyrim, there's add-ons in Final Fantasy, there's add-ons in every kind of game that you can mod in some degree. They're just gonna be there. You don't need add-ons. I did a 25 key yesterday, or like the other day on stream. Now, we failed the key because of reasons, like... But it was irregardless of the lack of add-ons, right? But I turned off add-ons. I was still able to perform absolutely just fine. With, like, I was able to perform absolutely fine without the add-ons. So... You don't need add-ons to play WoW. But people are going to choose them. Because why, you know, why not? If you can, why not? If you can make something more your speed, why wouldn't you, right? It's like playing with default HUD or being able to customize your HUD. Which one are you going to do? You're probably going to do the one where you can have, like, even if it's slight customization. Even instead of the chat box being, like, up here, it's over here on the right or something. That, in theory, could be an add-on that does that. An add-on allows you to move it over there. And in the past, it would have been that kind of thing. Not necessarily for the chat box, but for other elements of the game where you go, oh, actually, I prefer my like player frames being over here. Okay, well, you need an add-on for that. You no longer need an add-on for that, but like, you know, add-ons can be very simple things, too. Yeah. Possible to play WoW without installing any third-party software? Yeah, absolutely. Of course it is. It wouldn't make sense if your game didn't work unless you had add-ons. That's a failed game then, right? So, yeah. Can you do Mythic Plus or Raid without add-ons as a test? I really want to do another key where I do a high-level key without add-ons. Today would be have to be the last day that I try and do that, though. Which would be a bit awkward, because I'm streaming FF today. So today would be the last day that I sort of do it. Or, when the new season starts, I could play the new season without add-ons, but then, like, I'm just making it harder for myself initially for no reason. It's, like, something that would be cool to do at, like, the high key level, I think, when it's, like, more intense. Doesn't really work unless everyone has no add-ons? I know what you mean, but, like, I disagree, because I can be the reason a key fails on my own, you know? As an individual, you can fail a key for people. Yeah, add-ons are just like, look, I can show you what kind of add-ons I use in WoW. So this is CurseForge. This is a third-party, like, tool that you use to get your add-ons. And when it loads, there we go. Oh, I can update these. So these are my add-ons that I have. This is the max. These are all the add-ons that I have. Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I have 23 add-ons. Some of those I think I counted twice because they actually get listed as... Yeah. No, yeah. So what did I say? 21, 23, something like that? But some of them, like TomTom, just shows me my position in the world, like longitude, latitude, so that I can like see where things are more easily. World questing, World Quest Tracker just displays world quests slightly better. WeakAuras, that's a whole thing in itself. That's a whole conversation. Like, a lot of the SimCraft just allows me to sim my gear, but it's an in-game add-on that copies my information over to an external website where I sim. Loot Council just helps us when figuring out who's gonna get gear. Like when you're in a raid environment, you lose Loot Council, so you can like organize gear trading better. So like a lot of these add-ons aren't necessarily like these like super harsh, like, oh my god, this plays the game for you. It's just like, or like Mythic Plus Timer. That's a whole add-on. Mythic Plus Timer just displays the information in a more basic way. Like, that's it. Like, it just does this. It shows information that you already see in game. It just displays it like this in text form. That's it. Just changes the UI to do that instead of having like a big box in like a stylized way. It just removes the stylized nature of it. So a lot of the idea, item rack just shows the item level of my gear next to each thing. Like, it's a lot of these things are not, instead of me having to scroll and mouse over each individual piece of gear to check my item level, I can just open up my character panel and it will just have all the item levels of everything. It's not exactly these, you know, egregious sort of add-ons that a lot of people think about all the time. It's quality of life stuff, most of the time, yeah. So WeakAuras are really interesting, though. WeakAuras is like an add-on within an add-on. Yeah, WeakAuras, though, yeah. But even if you look at the WeakAuras that I use, it's minimal. WeakAuras are... I don't really know how to describe them. Yeah, custom UI elements. You can do some pretty outrageous things with WeakAuras. That is granted. I will give you that. You can do some absolutely bonkers stuff. What you're saying is the game is bad without add-ons. Noted. Yeah, the accusations are more put on WeakAuras generally. By people who understand the situation, yes. But not everyone understands the situation. And then it gets perpetuated by people who, like, don't know the full details, and then they just think add-ons in general. But it's like, it's not all add-ons, it's very specific add-ons. Yeah, you can make a WeakAura. Yeah, like, a really famous one is a... I think this is probably a pretty good one to look at. So, Fate Scribe. Okay, so this is a really interesting boss. I'll show you how WeakAuras will operate in WoW really quickly. So this is a boss. It's called Fate Scribe. As you can see, the boss is in the middle of the room, and there are multiple rings around the room, right? The boss, at a certain stage, I think it's like 70% health, phases and runs into the middle of the room. It then goes like invulnerable. You have some adds to kill on the side of the room, and basically everyone wants to be... See how you've got all of these circles? And then, or these rings, and then you have this outer, like, ring area. This is where everyone in the raid goes and stands. However, certain individuals get afflicted with a debuff, which allows them to go and activate a rune on the ground. See how you've got these little sigils here? You've got all these ones here, but only certain ones are glowing. See how this rune is glowing, but this one isn't, or this sigil? So you need to stand on the glowing sigils, and which sigils are going to be activated is random. But every ring has at least one, or I think only one, sigil that has to be activated. So what the WeakAura does is it automatically assigns... So each of these rings gets assigned a world marker. So you know how in Final Fantasy you have like A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. So everyone gets assigned, or every ring gets assigned a world marker. So you can see star is right here. You can see diamond is over here with my mouse. You can see triangle is here. So this person is moon. Not only do they have... So what this WeakAura is going to do is it assigns every individual a rune. It gives him a number. Because some people might go like ring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And you might in your head just go, all right, you can see here and go, I'm ring 5. Okay, I go and stand on this one. So the WeakAura automatically puts a marker over your head to tell you which one you are, which world marker you are. It gives you the list of names here and tells you who's on each one. So Atrocity here is Moon. They are on ring 5. Right? So when this mechanic occurs, you don't look at anything else in the room. You immediately read this list. Is my name on it? Yes, my name isn't on it. Okay, I go stand out on the side of the room. My name is on it. Okay, where is my name? What ring am I? And then you go and stand on that rune. So if you're Atrocity here and you see number 5, or you see just the moon appear above your head, instantly when the mechanic occurs, the moon will just appear on your head. You just already know, oh, moon is ring 5, I go stand on rune ring 5. So that's sort of what a WeakAura will, the possibility of what WeakAuras will do. Because if it wasn't for that, then you would have 6 players go, who's going, like, okay, what 6 players have it? Who's going to go stand where? or you would freestyle it. And you don't really want to freestyle it on Mythic on this boss, because do you see these beams? See, there's 3 beams. There's one long one here, there's one here, and then there's a long one that runs there. These beams, when you're standing on the rune, creates a... so whenever a player stands on a rune, it creates a beam from them to the boss. If any player makes contact with this beam, then they die. So as a team, you have to coordinate, all standing on the rune at the same time, so you all travel, like, at the same, you know, in tandem with each other. So that's the possibilities of what WeakAuras can do, and you can sort of see a little bit of this now in action, so you can see here, standing on the rune. But, like, yeah, that's sort of the information getting, like, displayed here to you. So, yeah, that goes to show you the possibilities of what a WeakAura does. So when getting people to coordinate online is really hard without help. It is. It is really hard to do. But, like, the thing is, if WeakAuras... So a lot of people go, oh, well, like, WeakAuras, like, it's playing the game for you, right? Okay, kind of sounds like it's playing the game for you. Sure, okay. But the game is... Like, WeakAuras have existed in the game for, like, 20 years. So the game is designed with the idea that you're going to have WeakAuras. So if you didn't have WeakAuras, what would happen is you would just have longer to coordinate that process. I'm memeing? No, I know. You would just have longer to coordinate that process. So if you have WeakAuras, maybe your reaction to a mechanic needs to be within 3 seconds. If you don't have WeakAuras, maybe Blizzard goes, okay, well, we'll give you 8 seconds to react to this mechanic instead. Yeah. Yeah, FF's raids are 8 people, much easier to coordinate than 20. This is something you need to consider, right? WoW is 20 people, a lot harder. And, like, the thing is, on FF, a lot of the time mechanics will affect the same sort of roles. They'll either be, like, role-specific and stuff, or they'll, like, seemingly, like... If you're a DPS player, you might have a 50% chance of getting targeted, or a 1 in 4, right? Whereas in WoW, you might have a 1 in 20. So you might not see a mechanic go on you for a whole night of progression. You might do a whole night of progression and not see a single mechanic on you. You might come back the next night and then you get the mechanic on you 3 times in a row. And you go, oh shit, I didn't have to learn this. It didn't hit me yesterday when we were learning the fight. I didn't have to think about this whatsoever. And now you're sort of like relearning the fight with the idea that, oh shit, I've got to do this mechanic. Yeah. Getting a static of 8 players is easier. Yeah, and probably of a similar skill level. The difference between the best player in a guild and the worst player in a guild is probably quite a big disparity. Yeah. The whole mechanic would not require WeakAura if debuffs had a number or a specific icon that matches one ring. Not that hard. Agreed. Yeah, like, all you'd have to do on Blizzard's end is just assign a number. And then you didn't need a WeakAura, and, like, you could do the fight just as well, just as easily. So it's like, yes, okay, WeakAuras are capable of doing that kind of thing, but imagine if Blizzard just actually marked each player with a number. You know? So who do you blame? Do you blame the WeakAura designer, or do you blame Blizzard the developer? But if Blizzard knows that WeakAuras exist, then why would they bother putting a number when they'll just let you freestyle and make a WeakAura for it, you know? Why not give more time to think? Because people have WeakAuras. They know that people are going to play with WeakAuras, and WeakAuras are allowed. Blizzard, at the end of the day, decides what is and isn't allowed. It's Blizzard that said, yeah, this is fine. Why don't they implement the WeakAura system in the base game? Why would you commit development time to something that someone else is doing for you? You know? Like, in an ideal world, yeah, amazing. In an ideal world, you'd never, like, you know, Skyrim and Baldur's Gate and whatever the hell else. Like, why would you put development time into something that someone else is doing for free for you? Like, why would you have paid QA members who come in and test the new beta when you could just have the players test your beta for free? Hold on. We can actually include beta access in the base game for an extra $40, and people will pay $40 to test our game for us? Are you mental? Like, okay. But the player goes, oh my god, I get beta access. This is insane. Like, amazing. So, business, you know? A lot of these, the answer to these questions are business. Yeah. Can't have an FF opinion? No, everyone's being chill. We've got FF opinions. Oh, did people come and see? Oh, I didn't see what you put. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like math problems with a lot of numbers and only a minute to solve it, and the WeakAuras is the calculator. Yeah, that's sort of what a WeakAuras is. It does the calculation for you, but you still have to, you know, you still have to write it down. Quite a few add-ons for a while, but not a single one for FF. I just have different mindsets when I play either. Most of them are pointless. I would very happily, if Blizzard removed add-ons completely from WoW, I would happily still be able to play the game. The thing is, there are some really nice add-ons that Blizzard could do with, like, they'd have to implement them into the game. You just keep add-ons going, right? Yeah. Don't the big WoW guilds have WeakAura coders? Yes. Because it's that important to them. Because having good WeakAuras can be the difference between winning the race or not. WeakAuras are just an answer to bad boss design a lot of the time. Yep. Yep. Like unclear stuff. Yep. FF14 has mechanics like that and players need to find solutions, but it's easier since you're only 8 people. Yeah, exactly. We need a bunch of priority orders to figure things out. But the different thing is that like FF raids are like the same exact thing every single time, right? And it's 8 players. And it's 2 tanks, 2 healers, 4 DPS. WoW is 2 tanks, 4 to 5 healers, and like 13 DPS, right? Does that math check out? 13, 15, yeah, it's like 13, 14 DPS. So, like, coordinating that, like, it's just different. It's just different. Like, WoW and FF are just different. You could just go 8 players compared to 20. You're already just so alien. And it's actually, WoW can have 30 player raids, which are very relevant, right? So you can even have 30 players versus 8 players. It's just a different thing, you know? It's just different. You just hope that guy, yeah, you hope Billy doesn't get the mechanic. Jesus Christ. What up, Bitch Shady? How you doing, Chief? It's a problem that contributes to increasing complexity that may put new players off. The point at which WeakAuras become very paramount, or like add-ons become very paramount, you're already a good player anyway. Like, you're already a good enough player to understand what's going on. No one is loading up World of Warcraft and falling behind because they don't have add-ons. Like, no one's doing that. It doesn't exist. Thought it's got up to 14? No, that's in Classic. WoW raids are like hard alliances? No. I mean, I guess it depends on how far you go with hard, but like WoW Mythic is like Ultimates, but with 20 players instead of 8. I know you could argue and go, oh, well, Ultimates are more difficult. It's the same degree, right? It's the hardest possible content. It's incredibly difficult. It takes people on FF months to prog Ultimates. It takes people on WoW months to prog Mythic. It's the hardest difficulty in each game. I'd say they're the same. Now, which one is more difficult? Who actually cares? Does anyone actually care which one's more difficult between Ultimates and Mythic? Mythic week 1, I'll agree. I mean, see, I don't think it's just week 1. Bro, the amount of people I see running around with ultimate weapon transmogs is very high. I don't think ultimates are going to be, like, maybe the most current ultimate, sure. But, like, I don't think ultimates are, you know, it's not like they're impossible. Like, enough people do them. Like, thousands of people are doing ultimates, you know? So, thousands of people are doing Mythic as well, and boss. Well, thousands of people killed the Mythic end boss? I don't know, actually. Is high level play possible without add-ons for WoW? Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So there was a boss I did on recently, my most recent raid progression. It was the second to last boss on Mythic. You're supposed to use this whole, like, WeakAura set to figure out how to do everything. But I just learned where I had to stand. Like, I didn't really rely on the WeakAura. I had it there just to check. But, and like, my guild forced me to get, like, you have to get the WeakAura, right? When you're playing in a Mythic guild, you have to get the WeakAura, but that's expected, and that's fine. But you get to a point after a few, like, when you're wiping on a boss for 100 pulls, there's a point where you just know the boss, so you don't have to use the WeakAura anymore. But yeah, WoW is absolutely playable without add-ons. I did a 25 key without an add-on, without any add-ons enabled. 25 key is one of the highest keys in the world. I say that, like, you know, relative. the amount of people that have done a 25 key in World of Warcraft this season is very low. So, yeah, you can do very high-end Mythic Plus content, very high-end Mythic Raid content without add-ons. Yeah, when the race is going on, fights are way harder compared to the guild getting the Mythic kill later. Yeah. That sort of, like, the difficulty of, like, WoW based on week 1 or week X is very much dependent on... There's so many factors and variables in WoW. Tier set. Well, are you doing the raid with 0 tier, 2 set, 4 set? How many people in your guild have it? Does everyone in your guild have it? Does some people in your guild have it? That's a massive variable right there in terms of damage and output. If you go from 0 people in your raid have tier set to every single person has 4 set, that's an that's like 10 to 15% damage increase across your whole raid. That's the difference. It's like a 10% damage diff. That's insane. And then on top of that, you have more item level. So week 1, the amount of item level that you have then compared to week 8 or whatever. Does everyone have like max gear pretty much? Okay, well the item level difference there is in this expansion, this patch can be 40 item levels different. And I think 1% damage is 5 item levels or something. Oh no, is it 1 item level is 1% damage or something? It can't be that, because it can't be a 40% damage increase. Like I don't know how you sort of tangibly like calculate that, but or like put a number to it, but yeah. Mythic raiding normally requires add-ons because of the way the bosses are designed with WeakAuras in mind. If Blizzard removed WeakAuras, they would tone down some of the fights, you know.